When you think about influence, what comes to mind? Maybe it's an image of a powerful leader, someone standing in front of a crowd, delivering a speech that shifts perspectives and inspires action. Or perhaps it's a parent, guiding a child through life with quiet, unwavering support. Influence isn't reserved for the famous or the charismatic, it's something we all possess. Every single interaction you have is a chance to leave an impact, no matter how small it may seem. Let's imagine a teacher, someone you might remember from years ago. Maybe they encouraged you at a moment when you doubted yourself, or they showed belief in you when you couldn't muster it for yourself. That's influencer ripple that can spread far beyond the moment, shaping futures and inspiring others to do the same. Influence isn't about control, it's about connection. And connection starts with authenticity. Ask yourself, who do you trust? Chances are, it's the people who stay true to their word, who listen and understand, who lead by example. Think about a time when someone's integrity stood out to you. Maybe it was a colleague who admitted their mistake and worked to make it right, or a friend who kept your confidence despite pressure. Integrity builds trust, and trust is the foundation of influence. But here's the thing. Integrity doesn't just show up in the big dramatic moments. It's forged in the small, everyday decisions. It's in choosing honesty when exaggeration might make you look better. It's in owning up to a misstep even when no one's watching. These choices might seem minor, but they accumulate. Over time, they create a reputation and a character that others can depend on. John C. Maxwell, a recognized authority on leadership and influence, reminds us that integrity is the foundation of trust. In his timeless lessons, Maxwell emphasizes that the small acts of honesty and character are what truly define us over time. Reflecting on his wisdom, consider how you approach these moments in your own life. How can you ensure that the foundation you're building is solid and dependable? Now, let's shift the focus to nurturing. Imagine planting a garden. You don't see results immediately. You water the seeds, tend to the soil, and ensure the plants get enough sunlight. Over time, the garden grows and flourishes. Relationships are much the same. Investing time and energy in others isn't always glamorous, and it's rarely instant. But when you nurture those around you, the impact can be profound. Think of someone in your life who made you feel valued. Maybe it was a mentor who took the time to guide you, a boss who recognized your potential, or a friend who stood by you during tough times. What did they do that made a difference? Likely, they listened, really listened. They made you feel seen and heard. They celebrated your successes and encouraged you when you stumbled. They added value to your life. And you can do the same for others. Adding value isn't about grand gestures. It's about intentional acts of kindness and support. It's as simple as offering encouragement, sharing knowledge, or lending a helping hand. When you consistently add value to others, you're not just building relationships, you're building influence. People gravitate toward those who uplift them, who help them see possibilities they hadn't considered. But nurturing relationships also means stepping into uncomfortable spaces. It's about having those tough conversations that show you care, even when it's easier to stay silent. For instance, think about a time when someone gave you constructive feedback. It might have stung in the moment, but later you realized it was exactly what you needed to grow. By nurturing others with both compassion and candor, you're equipping them to face challenges with strength and resilience. Now might be a great time to pause and reflect on this journey we're taking together. If these insights resonate with you, consider subscribing to this channel, liking this content, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Engaging in this conversation helps us all grow and influence each other in meaningful ways. To truly empower others, you need to pass the torch. Picture a relay race. Each runner gives their all, then hands off the baton to the next. Empowering others means equipping them with the tools, confidence, and opportunities to succeed on their own. It's not about creating dependence, it's about fostering independence. Take a moment to reflect on the people you've empowered. Maybe it's a coworker you trained who's now thriving in their role, or a child you've guided toward making their own decisions. How did it feel to see them grow? That's the essence of influence, creating a ripple effect that extends beyond yourself. And as Maxwell notes, success is when I add value to myself. Significance is when I add value to others. Think about the story of Jackie Robinson, the first African American to play Major League Baseball. His influence wasn't just in his athletic ability, it was in his character, his ability to endure criticism with grace, and his unwavering commitment to breaking barriers. Robinson's legacy reminds us that influence often comes with a cost, but the rewards, both personal and societal, are immeasurable. As you think about your own journey of influence, remember this: it's not about perfection. You don't have to have it all figured out to make a difference. Start where you are with what you have. Look for opportunities to lead with integrity, to nurture those around you, and to empower others to step into their own potential. Influence is less about doing something extraordinary and more about showing up consistently as your authentic self. Consider the story of a small-town teacher who inspired an entire community. Every day she greeted her students by name, asked about their lives, and cheered on their dreams. Over time, her influence extended beyond the classroom. Former students came back to visit, now doctors, artists, and leaders, each crediting her with the spark that ignited their journeys. Her story reminds us that consistent, genuine care can transform lives in ways we might never predict. But let's not forget the role of self-reflection in influence. Are you actively growing yourself so you can pour into others? Maxwell often stresses that you cannot give what you do not have. If you're not continuously learning and improving, your ability to influence will eventually plateau. Take time to invest in yourself, whether it's through reading, seeking mentorship, or embracing challenges that stretch your limits. It's also worth considering the power of stories in influence. Think about a movie or book that moved you deeply. Why did it resonate? Often, it's because stories have a unique way of connecting us to universal truths. As you share your journey with others, don't shy away from telling your story, your triumphs, your failures, and the lessons you've learned along the way. Authenticity resonates far more than perfection ever could. Here's another example that illustrates the power of influence. Imagine a small act of kindness, a stranger paying for someone's coffee in the drive-through line. That simple gesture often inspires the recipient to do the same for others, creating a chain reaction of generosity. It's a small moment, but it exemplifies how influence doesn't require grand actions. It's the everyday choices that leave the deepest impressions. This idea brings us back to one of Maxwell's core teachings. Leadership is influence and nothing more, nothing less. Every person has the capacity to lead in some way, whether it's at work, in their family, or within their community. Recognizing this power allows you to approach every interaction with greater intentionality. So, how will you use your influence today? Maybe it's a kind word to a stranger, a moment of patience with a loved one, or a decision to stand firm in your values. Every action, no matter how small, has the potential to create a ripple. And those ripples, they can turn into waves that change lives. One interaction, one relationship, one moment at a time. If you found these ideas meaningful, consider subscribing to this channel for more insights inspired by leaders like John C. Maxwell and other transformational thinkers. Together, we can explore the timeless principles that help us grow and make a difference. Let's continue this journey of influence on a step, one story, and one act of connection at a time.